Hey everybody, welcome to the channel. I'm Tony the Technician. Today we're going to be taking a look at my new socket organizers, plier organizers, and wrench organizers. So if you guys follow the channel, you guys might know that I've used a few organizers in the past. I've used a lot of Ernst products, Tekton, which is Ernst, and then I've used the toolbox widget for many years and some others as well. And the organizers I went with finally are the ones that I've wanted for like 7 or 8 years and just never pulled the trigger on them. And I was happy with the toolbox widget for quite a while, but I finally decided to pull the trigger and I just made the switch, and that's for my sockets. As far as my pliers, I ended up switching to one of the organizers that I used to use and I just really enjoy. And then the wrenches are just a new modular one that I really enjoy as well. I tested out a small set of them, really enjoyed them, so I ended up making the switch. So I'm going to go ahead and show you guys some of the organizers that I had before and then the ones that I switched to. So let's go ahead and get into this. So all of the changes I made were actually inside of my Husky box, but my Matco box does actually have some of the other organizers that I've used. So like I still have the toolbox widget here for the wrenches, and this is just kind of my overflow box. So everything I normally use is over here, but I just can't get myself to get rid of anything because I don't want to. But I still have the Ernst socket bosses over here, which are an absolutely amazing organizer. You can get them in 2 rails or 3 rails. I think they're even starting to release some 4 rail. I could be wrong. I can't remember. But the main socket boss is 3 rails. You get 1/4 inch, 3/8, and 1/2 inch drive. But I switched out the pegs to where one organizer was all 1/4 inch, then 3/8, then 1/2 inch. And I've used these for 7-8 years and I've really enjoyed them. I really like that you can just push a button, slide the whole rail out, and then take it with you if need be, or you can just grab the entire tray. And I have that for both metric and SAE. But then for my pliers, I actually used to use the wire rack, which I'll try and post up a picture so you guys can see what I'm talking about. Very common, very affordable, pretty dang decent pliers organizer. And then I switched to the Tekton Ernst one, and then eventually went to the toolbox widget for basically everything in this box, and had it for, I don't know, probably close to 5 years. And just decided to switch back to the Tekton or Ernst organizers. This is 6 of them, and it just fits perfectly in this drawer. I get that the toolbox widget is modular, so you can literally fit from side to side. But what I like about these is the bottom has a rubber grip on them, so it kind of holds the pliers in place. And then I like the taller walls. It just feels more secure. The pliers don't shake around nearly as much. And so I really enjoyed the Tekton or Ernst pliers rack, and all the Ernst stuff that I've ever purchased, and as far as I know of, are all made in the USA and quite affordable as well. So that is what I went with, or went back to, for my pliers drawer. And I have a video going over all of my pliers if you guys are interested in that. That's on my channel as well. Next up is the wrench drawer. The wrench, I used to just keep them in their blow molded cases or on the little rubber plastic racks that they would come on. But eventually I just couldn't fit all my wrenches in the drawer, and I ended up going to the toolbox widget, and it worked really well. But then Tekton released theirs, same kind of idea. It's a modular design like the toolbox widget, but Ernst once again makes the Tekton organizers, and if you order it from Ernst themselves, you can actually get these with magnets. So if you're going to put this in like a tool cart that's constantly moving around, or you work on rough surfaces, or maybe you're mobile and you have a work truck, then the magnetic versions are definitely going to be probably best for your needs. But honestly, even without the magnets, these things are not going anywhere. With the weight, there's no issue. There's tiny little feet on the bottom of them that kind of dig into the mat, and they just aren't going to go anywhere. But I do have a full video on these specific organizers as well, when I just bought a small set of them to try them out, comparing them to the toolbox widget. And I just like the wider design, and here you can see they do come with stickers, and I've started to apply them. Which I do like. Even though these are stickers, I do like these more than the toolbox widget that has these little inlays which just pop in, which are nice, but you have to pay more for those They're hard to read, so you have to take a Sharpie to them if you really want to be able to read them. But then if you have multiple different sets, then you're running into the issue of buying a whole nother set of the labels just to kind of fill in the gaps, and they still don't have every size. Even though the stickers are very generic, it's just a much simpler and easier way to identify. But honestly, as long as I know what the wrench set starts with, I can easily just grab the wrench that I need. And the angle at which these sit at, you can still easily see all of the sizes of the wrenches. So they just sit right at the perfect angle. With the toolbox widget, you either get full vertical or you get an angle one, but it's at a much sharper angle for your larger wrenches to fit into, shorter drawers, which is really nice. But for this size drawer, it's perfect. And once again, they're modular. They come in either a single or a double holder, and then you can fit them perfectly from front to back. And as you can see, I can fit a lot of wrenches in this drawer. All of the red are going to be metric, and then all of the black is SAE. So that is it as far as those two organizers. Now, like I said, my first main socket organizer was the Ernst Socket Boss, and then I ended up switching to trying out the toolbox widget, which was really nice because, once again, it was fully modular, so it saved me a lot of space, but it wasn't as versatile as the Socket Boss just because I can grab a rail or I can grab the entire tray and go if need be, where the toolbox widget, you couldn't. You're not moving them. It's not great for if you're going to grab full sets or anything like that. Now, the one that I went with isn't modular, and it's not as easy to take as the Socket Boss, but it kind of falls in between there. And that is the Westling billet aluminum socket rails. And I've absolutely loved these things since I first saw them, like close to 10 years ago. I just didn't want to drop the money on them. And honestly, with the organizers I already had, I just made do. But I eventually, after almost 10 years, finally pulled the trigger. This was actually the first set. I bought a Capri impact socket set not too long ago, and it came with the Westling aluminum rail. And after I got that, it really brought back my desire to own these organizers. So I did, and I messed up and ordered the red for metric and blue for SAE. And I think that's because I was looking at this thinking my red is metric, whereas in all of that drawer, metric is blue, SAE is red. So the drawers are backwards. This red is actually all metric, and then I have one blue one that came with the Capri sockets that was a blue metric. So not a big deal. Worst case scenario, I buy this same tray in red if it really bothers me that much, but it's not that big of a deal. But I will say the Capri blue is a much darker, deeper blue than the original Westling blue. That is one thing I noticed. So Capri kind of has their own coloring for their organizers. But these are made in the USA, billet aluminum, and they're just absolutely beautiful. They got little pegs in them. They're not magnetic or anything like that. They just fit really well on the pegs. And I have some, like I said, this isn't the most modular, so it does have preset pegs, and it might take up more room than the toolbox widget. But I've just really wanted these. I love their build quality. I have my universal sockets over here, some of my bit sockets. I start with 1/4 inch, 12 point, 6 point, moving into from shallow to deep well. And then here I actually have their swivel dedicated 1/4 inch tray, so it fits these 1/4 inch swivels perfectly. This is just a generic additional tray that I purchased, and as you can see, the pegs are perfectly spaced throughout the entire thing. So when I got up to some of the larger ones, I had to alternate. Not a big deal. I had the space or the empty pegs to use it that way anyways, so that's what I ended up doing. So I might make a couple changes. I might pick up the 3/8 swivel platform, and then not just for the metric but for the SAE as well, because I didn't pick one up, so I don't have a spot for those. But that's my metric drawer now. And then my SAE, like you saw a minute ago, I do have my 3/8 SAE universal sockets up there that don't have anything yet, but eventually I'll buy that as well and get that probably put down here. Once again, 12 point, 6 point, shallow, deep, moving up bit sockets into 3/8, then 1/2 inch drive. And I just absolutely love the quality of these trays. If you guys own them, let me know your guys' thoughts, but those are the organizers that I've switched to and some of the ones that I've used in the past that I've really enjoyed. Just kind of depends on what you're looking for. The toolbox widget is great if you're looking for something that's extremely adaptable and modular. So is the Ernst wrench organizers that's modular. I think those are a fantastic option and very, very affordable compared to a lot of the other modular options. And the Westling is just something that I've desired for a long time. And the Tekton Ernst Pliers organizer is just something that I really like the design of. They're just extremely secure and works really well in this drawer. So if you guys enjoyed today's video, please make sure to smash that thumbs up. I'll try and have some of these linked down in the description for you guys if you guys are interested. And if you haven't subscribed, make sure to subscribe, and I'll see you guys next time.